Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I'm Impact Dude, and I'm back with another installment of the Impact Rundown. Now, before I get started, has everybody heard the breaking news? Well, in case you've been living under a rock, trademarks for All Elite Wrestling have been filed in Jacksonville, Florida. There's been a rumor going around for quite some time that the Elite's Young Bucks and Cody Rhodes, along with Chris Jericho, Jim Ross, and Tony Khan, whose father, Shahid Khan, owns the Jacksonville Jaguars, they were getting together to start a promotion of their own. While this report certainly won't make that rumor go away, it probably ends any hope for any of them showing up in Impact for more than a short run while they get their new promotion off the ground. For the sake of all involved, I wish them the best of luck. Now, moving to Impact, homecoming tickets are selling well. It looks like Dixieland is welcoming Impact back with open arms. The first lot of VIP tickets sold out quickly, and the second lot is likely to be gone by now as well. Speaking of homecoming, am I the only one hoping to see some familiar new faces? I mean, wouldn't it be nice if homecoming meant more than just going back to Nashville? Come on, admit it. It would be nice to see the Bucks come home. Or Bad Influence. Heck, last I heard, James Storm is free. He is the Tennessee Cowboy after all, right? Am I expecting any of this? Hell no. If Impact is consistent about one thing, it's disappointing the fans when it comes to creating big moments. Look, I'm a big fan of hitting singles and doubles and building companies organically. But let's face it, ratings are down, fans are leaving. We love the company, but we need hope. Something to get excited about. As long as it's not Dixie Carter. I don't want to see her. In other news, partnering with Big Time Wrestling to present One Night Only, back to Cali on December the 1st. Advertised stars include World Champion Johnny Impact, X Division Champion Brian Cage, Knockouts Champion Tessa Blanchard, Eli Drake, Eddie Edwards, OVE Moose, and more. Tickets are just $10, so this is a can't-miss event if you're in the Salinas, California area. Now, the big news of the Impact this week is that Impact is talking with True TV, Sci-Fi, and WGN America. Rumor has it, if they can't work out a deal with one of those networks, they've still got a home one pop. Count this podcaster as one that is not rooting for WGN America. Let's face it, more and more of us are cutting the cord, and WGN America isn't available on any of the major streaming platforms. If the goal is to increase exposure, moving to a network that doesn't embrace technology is not the way to go. On the injury front, my sis is working her way back to the ring, and probably sooner than I'd like. Will she make it to homecoming? Time will tell. But there are two things for sure. One, it'll be too early for my blood, and two, I'll still mark out. Let's face it, the return of Rosemary is the single most intriguing storyline we have heading into 2019. It opens the door to fresh matches in the Knockouts division that we haven't gotten to see or haven't seen much of in quite some time. Rosemary continuing her feud with Su Yung, that would be amazing. Rosemary versus Taya, remember how good that was while it lasted? Rosemary versus Tessa, can you say dream match? And oh yeah, the one we've been asking for years at this point, Rosemary versus Allie. Consider this, literally every good match that hasn't already happened in Knockouts division involves Rosemary. And as good as Tessa's been, Rosemary is still the centerpiece of the Knockouts division and will continue to be in 2019. And speaking of centerpieces, am I the only one scratching my head as to why Impact hasn't re-signed LAX yet? LAX literally is the tag team division at this point. Let's re-sign them and give them some fresh feuds. We'll see where things go with the Lucha Brothers. That could be really cool. But they need more tag teams. And when I say that, I mean serious tag teams, folks. Sure, KM and Falaba are fun, but do you really think they're a serious threat? Ditto that to Seidel and Ethan Page. And that brings us to this week's show. Tessa Blanchard defeated Ray Lynn in what amounted to a squash match. But look, folks, I thought Ray showed well in this match. She's the kind of talent I'd like to see more of. Yeah, she's an attractive girl, but you know what I meant. What I mean is that she's the kind of talent they could bring in for a set of tapings, give an angle to her, and then roll her off for a few sets of tapings. And then there's the Rascals. Are these guys going to be fun or what? That 70s show remake was the most fun part of the show and maybe one of the most fun skits they've done in a long, long time. Bring these guys in and give them a push. let's see how they fare against LAX. Lord knows they can go in the ring. Just keep them serious and make them a threat. Now look, folks, I am sick and tired of hearing how poorly Scarlett Bordeaux is being used. To all of you that say that, I say pshaw. Impact push Allie into the ring very slowly, and look at her now. She's one of the most over acts on the roster, and she's not even the standard bearer for not wrestling. The standard bearer for not wrestling, that one goes to Rosemary, who was kept completely out of the Knockouts division for about a year when all of you wanted her to be Knockouts champion. Just let Scarlett be Scarlett already. She's filling a valuable void, and she's very entertaining. And then there's the Desi Hit Squad. Impact, look, you got two options here. One, completely change the way you use these guys. Completely. As in, change everything. Or two, get rid of them. Because it ain't working today, and tomorrow doesn't look good either. You know, I discussed the Falaba versus KM and KM versus LAX match, but I'm fairly sure you all know how I feel in this one by now. Those two had no chance. Kudos to them. They did look good in this match. I mean, they looked really good. They just aren't serious enough. And that's important. I'm not down on the talent here. I love Falaba and KM. It's just that they need to be built into a serious contender. Otherwise, we're just going to already know LAX is going to win, and there's no need to tune in when you can already tell what's going to happen. Folks, I'm not going to lie. I got no idea who Heather Monroe is, but after watching that promo, I am intrigued to find out more about her, even if she did get run over by Su Yung. Tommy Dreamer, on the other hand, not so much. Why is it that Tommy Dreamer is always the go-to guy for cheap pops? Am I the only one that notices this stuff, or is it obvious to you all too? Every time Impact needs a cheap pop, just cue the music and send Tommy Dreamer out. It happens every time. Now, speaking of matches where we knew it was going to happen, let me be clear here. Johnny Impact wasn't going to lose to Matt Sydal. It was always going to be a good match. Let's face it, those two can both go in the ring. But it was always going to be a match that nobody cared if they missed because it never mattered anyway. And that, folks, is not good for ratings. That, folks, is a ratings killer. If you're going to put him opposite Johnny Impact, you need to make him a threat. The Killer Cross Johnny Impact Alliance thing, though, is really intriguing. Lots of cool possibilities here. I can't wait to see more of it. And finally, there's Brian Cage. After beating Sami Callihan, he's cashing in on option 3. I guess nobody told him they canceled Destination X. Then again, maybe they were all too afraid. I don't know. Johnny Impact versus Brian Cage at Homecoming will be fun. It'll be a lot of fun. It will be an incredible match. And ironically, the main event will now feature 2 lieutenants from the new card. Hardly a homecoming there, folks. But look, the era of Brian Cage is imminent, folks, and why not? This may actually be something to get excited about. Okay, folks, I'm out. Until next time, I'm Impact Dude. Have a great Thanksgiving, everyone, and I'll catch you next time.